Y'all, so Janet Jackson finally, they said it wouldn't last. We had to prove them wrong. I lasted 5 years and now I have $500,000. Yeah, y'all. Janet did that, honey. Janet did that, okay? Janet was like, she's married to that dude. I'm gonna have to Google his name. I want to call him ACN, but I know that's not his name. I think he deals in the fashion industry. I know he has connections to like Yves Saint Laurent and just all of these other high fashion brands. He's worth $1 billion. Plus he has all these assets. But Spirit is telling me Janet Jackson is not gonna get $500 million. So we're saying that, but she's not. Like, she's gonna actually get a lot of like other stuff. Spirit is also saying something is wrong with the child. The child was born with some type of issues. So there's some stuff going on there. I think that's why we haven't seen her baby yet. Janet had a lot of complications. This is literally like a miracle pregnancy, you know, because her womb would not take. Janet's had a lot of fertility issues. She's had a lot of miscarriages. Just a lot of stuff going on in her womb, which actually, if you know anything about Janet Jackson, I feel a lot of that connects with her father, and a lot of that connects back to how she was treated as a young woman, and just some of how complex her mind was to being a mother. Janet actually didn't want kids. This was more so of her husband. He wanted to have a child with her. She was actually content. She was even looking at, you know, adopting. You know, she wasn't really trying to have a child, and things of that actual sort. So this whole thing, I don't know. I don't feel sadness. I don't feel sadness on Janet's end. I think she's glad it's over. I feel sadness on his end, though. I think Janet feels a sense of relief. So I don't know what exactly it is from until I go to the cards, what she's feeling relief from. I don't know. But she's kind of glad it's over. She's just glad it's over. She had a lot of issues with her husband. In the last, really, their problem started in the last 2 years or 2.5 years. This pregnancy was what kind of broke the camel's back. She feels like she went through this crazy pregnancy, and and a very critical delivery. And because I see the baby having tubes up its nose, so the child has issues, and I think it's gonna need special care throughout the years. I don't think the child has any mental disabilities, but there are some physical things going on with the actual child. I think that's why she's hesitated so much and showing a picture of her actual son, because something is going on with the actual child. And as a matter of fact, I want to see if Janice even ever posted a picture of her baby. So I'm just going to type in Janet Jackson's son. But this is not her first pregnancy. But she's tried to get pregnant before, and it's just a lot of stuff. There are no pictures. There aren't any. So because I don't remember seeing any, and then Spirit is saying something is going on. So what caused? Okay, I want to start from the beginning. I want to know about the early start of Janet Jackson and what's this dude's name? Hold on, look, I gotta type in Janet Jackson husband. I think this is her second husband or her third husband or something like that. Waseem Al Manya. Okay. Waseem El Mana. So let's find out, Spirit, first, what brought Janet Jackson and Waseem El Mana together. So Janet Jackson, Waseem El Mana. Janet Jackson, Waseem El Mana. Janet Jackson, Waseem El Mana. They want me to split it in 3. Nothing was of the like limit with him. Okay, early on in the like relationship, Janet did kind of play hard to get for a really, I kind of want to bring this camera closer. Janet Jackson really did play hard to get for really a hot minute, you know, a hot minute. He had actually met her through they have a mutual friend. So that's how they met. But Janet never really made herself readily available to him. So he kind of liked the chase, but nothing was off limits. That's what she really loved, you know, about him. I feel like in relationships she never felt like she had that full man, or that man really gave 100% of himself. Janet actually feels like Waseem, whatever his name is, gave her the attention. Like, she finally met a man who actually felt like 100% of him. She felt like she finally had 100% of this man. He understood there's something. He's actually very connected to spirit. He kind of understood how he's very intuitive when it comes to reading Janet. He did like little things to impress her. We think it's the big things, you know, because he's a billionaire. No, it was like the little things that he would do that Janet found him so sweet. The funny thing is that Janet was kind of sneaking around to try to like see him and to try to be with him. So they had a very, it's not, I don't want to call it casual sex, but they were kind of casual. It was very like, okay, I'll see you and you'll see me and da 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 da. And they have a really passionate love for the arts. Not like music and stuff, but paintings and things of that sort. She loves his eyes. Janet feels he has a really good eye for like detail. He's really good with like the smallest things, and she found that very impressive. She went through years of heartache, years of loss, years of heartache, years of loss. Janet Jackson has a very sad energy, a very depressive, like very light depressing energy, and he was kind of like by her side. He would, you know, tell her, oh, if you want to borrow my like beach house, this and that. Janet has suffered very silently. She suffers from a lot of emotional issues. Janet is just a very emotional person, even though we can see that from how low she speaks and how shy she is. I feel like music was her way of expressing how she felt about certain things. Janet is like, he was the light when she really was going through some real, oh, okay. First I was like, what was she going through when Michael died? Okay. I was like, what was she going through that had her, y'all, when Michael Jackson died, she was devastated. Devastated. And he was there. He was there. He was heavy. He was really there. That was when he really got in good with her. Like when they actually started to build a relationship and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of hard because like he actually worked, guys. Even though he was a billionaire, Janet was not really impressed by his money. Like, that's not what caused them to really marry. That they actually, he saved her from so much. He saved her from so much going on emotionally. He was her protection. So she felt, you know, early on that he really did protect her, and she felt safe. For a very long time, I don't think she felt safe, and she felt like men never really gave their all. So Janet really feels like, wow, this dude really has been there. Like, he's been like my rock. So this relationship was not based upon money. It wasn't even really based upon sex, because I don't see Janet. It's funny because Janet had that. Janet is a very sexual woman, but I feel like a lot of that has calmed down as she's gotten you know older. Yeah, he was her savior. Like, he was her savior. He was her saving grace. It's kind of like, who can I run to fill this empty space when I need love, sweet love? Well, that was him. He was her star. He was her shining light from above. So he offered her something that she never had emotionally, but he had to chase her, honey. This did not happen overnight, y'all. He had to chase her. This was not something, and then he had to catch up to her, because I feel Janet is not someone who stays in one place very long. She gets very restless. After a while, she'll pack up her stuff and leave. So I see her in multiple places. That Janet has a lot of anxiety too, like a lot of anxiety. She's a very calm person though, but she still gets a lot of anxiety, and stuff like that. So guys, it wasn't really about money. I don't think Janet would marry a broke dude anyways, but it wasn't based upon money. Like, a lot of men wanted Janet, men who were way younger. I saw men who were like in their 20s trying to holler at Janet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was never about that. She really wanted a safety net, and he waited patiently. He used that intuition, and he waited patiently. So Spirit, what happened? Shit, I want to know. Like, what happened? Like, what caused them to break up? Like, what was the detail? Oh, y'all, Janet Jackson, y'all, she's going through some very difficult depression, some very deep depression, where very deep, like almost where I feel she had to seek professional help. What is it called? Postpartum syndrome, where, you know, a woman has a child. She's really trying to connect with her child, or she was trying really hard to connect with her child. Somewhere there was a disconnect there. She loved, oh my God, she looks at her baby and she sees pieces of like Michael in her baby. So she's like, she struggled so hard. I just see nights of anxiety and crying and not being able to like sleep. A lot of people have said, oh, it's because he had her turning Muslim, and she found a lot of peace in Islam. So that's what Spirit is saying. She did not have a problem with being like Muslim. It was not an issue. It's just that the marriage is really ending because of her. But let's see what the cards are saying about Janet Jackson and her husband Waseem. What ended it, Spirit? What ended it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Ooh. Spirit spilling all the tea, honey. Janet had actually left before, and then she came back. So, but I think she left again. So they're saying Janet had a way of just cutting him off. Like, cutting him off and not really wanting to necessarily speak to him anymore, not to really want to have him, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like she just wanted her space, really. Wow, guys. Nine of Swords. The same cards are pretty much coming up. Also, y'all, she found out about some she found out about she's getting the same cards, y'all. She's getting the same cards. I want to reshuffle these just to make sure, because something is going on with she feels that her husband is very good at covering up his lies, or covering up what it's like he's saying it but he's not really saying it. She feels like he's the master of illusion when it comes to his mouth. Something also about her really wanting more support when it comes to this baby. There's a lot going on. You would think a baby would save a marriage. It didn't actually save this marriage. It actually made things more complicated. Waseem is a man with many secrets, okay? And Janet was discovering some things, and he was like, no, I'm like, he wouldn't even let her in. He wouldn't even tell her. So she felt like, wow, I'm your wife and you can't even tell me, you know, some stuff that's going on. So guys, I'm about to see if the same cards fall. It is what it is. Hangman. Oh, y'all. Yup. Also, guys, this is spilling some tea. He's not, Janet is not gonna get all this money. Janet's gonna get money, but he's gonna actually challenge Janet when it comes to the amount of money that she's going to get. Yeah, he's gonna, Janet is gonna get money, but he's gonna tie it up so much in the courts. Y'all, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. The only thing I'm asking is Janet Islamically married or is she legally married? Was she married, y'all? These are the same. Janet is actually not receiving the support from her husband like we think she is. This is interesting. So now that she's separated herself from her husband, she's not really, it's weird. It's like she's cut him off, he's cut her off. So, but he's gonna act, when it comes to giving money, y'all, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be, I think she has a battle on her hands. I think she's gonna have to battle for what she wants. But the problem is, y'all, it's something about her not wanting us to know about her son, or what's wrong with him, or why she needs the additional funds, because he's gonna be slow to break. He's gonna be slow to break bread. Janet is actually, she's gonna try to handle it privately, but it's gonna turn into a public thing, and then her son's business is gonna come out, which is going to devastate her. I think he's willing to let out their son's business, but right now she is absolutely devastated. This sounds crazy, guys. Oh, but Janet is gonna get that attorney though. She gonna get that lawyer though. This is gonna be messy, guys. This is gonna be messy. This, at first I was like, oh, okay. And the cards done been like, bitch, Janet, the hangman, stagnant, money not being, feeling like depressed. Janet is going through a lot emotionally, guys. No laughing matter. Pray for her. You know, she's going through some very dark times, even before the like marriage. You know, emotionally she's just not balanced right now at all. But she's standing, y'all, but she got some evidence on her husband, y'all. This is gonna get real. And she's taking on the challenge. She's gonna take him on. She does not care. It's weird. It's like she cut him off first, but now he's trying to find a way to bypass her. It's like she's trying to communicate when it comes to like legal matters. But it's crazy, y'all, because he's actually trying to not take action. Her lawyer is a woman, and she's gonna go in. Wow, guys. This went from being a very loving relationship to being very cold, very like cut off. Like, I'm trying to talk to you, but now he's trying to bypass her. Guys, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because Janet has already lawyered up. Something is going on with Janet's marriage. I don't think Janet's marriage is legal, or I don't think it was here in the States. So it's gonna play out, y'all. It's gonna play out, and I feel bad because I think Janet is really trying to protect her son through all of this and what information is leaked out. But it's gonna be like leaked out. It's just sad. It's just a sad situation. I feel like the tables have turned. First she started to act like distant, then he started to act. And I know this sounds crazy, but something about homosexuality is coming out on these cards. Something about his sexuality is coming out in these cards. I didn't want to say it, but it's coming out in the actual cards. I actually want to ask the Ascended Masters or what they think. So hold on. Let's see what the Ascended Masters have to tell Janet Jackson. And for those that want to know what it's called, Keepers of the Light. I know some of us love Doreen Virtue, but not my favorite oracle maker, in all honesty. I love this guy, Kyle Gray. I love his oracle cards. What do y'all have to say? So I'm just gonna ask, what message do the Ascended Masters have for Janet Jackson during this difficult time? Wow. Command, call to action. Command Ashtar. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. Okay. So this is saying whatever, Janet's gonna have to take action. Like, she's gonna have to take some serious legal action against her husband, because she's not about to get $500,000. I know that. Not even close. So I feel he's acting really funny right now, and the look of these cards is telling me, girl, it's time to get serious. I think there has been some back and forth about her, again, for the sake of her son, not wanting to expose certain things. But I think things about to get real, because this look on his face is serious as fuck. So what do you have to tell the husband, Waseem or Waseem, whatever his name is? Oh crap. Okay. Life force. Express your driving passion and sensual and sexual powers are increased. Y'all, this man is gay, or he's bisexual. Something is going on. This man has another life. Like, he has a completely different lifestyle going on. Okay, y'all, he a freak, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I don't think Janet is really in that phase of her life anymore. I think she's cooled down sexually. Dude is freaky, y'all. Dude is a freak. Alright guys, if you want a reading, just so you guys know, we are on Eastern time. We're not on Central or Western or Pacific or whatever. We're on Eastern time. And again, conjure on.